Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome into another edition of Deportes Nation. I'm Alex Parra. Why? Because the graphic says Alex Parra. And next to you, as you can tell, a good friend of the show, I want to welcome in Mr. Sergio Castillo. First of all, Sergio, how are you and how are you feeling?
First of all, how y'all doing? Hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's safe. Pretty good, just in Amarillo. Just trying to endure the cold weather. Last week we had 2 or 3 days of snow.
Wow, in April.
In April.
Wow.
I do my morning runs around 8 o'clock, and I woke up those days, and it was I normally ride my bike to the track field, and this time I had to take my car because it was a lot colder than usual. But everything's been good, so can't wait to chat with you guys.
And how are you holding up? Not only physically, you obviously don't look or sound sick in any way. You look great. But mentally, the mental and emotional part of this is affecting all of us, Sergio.
It is, but I think during this quarantine, I've been able to spend a lot of time with myself, and I think
Sure.
throughout the day, my girlfriend and I, we put a board of goals that we try to accomplish throughout the week, and basically the way we set it up is if we can accomplish something mentally, which is where I write down my goals.
Yeah.
Spiritually, for me, spend time or pray with God. Something physically, so I run and then I lift in the afternoons. And then something, try to learn something, gain some knowledge. And lately I've been, my girlfriend and I, we've been learning and reading about stocks.
Wow.
So
what should I buy, Sergio? Give me some tips. I'm ready to spend $5 today.
$5?
That's all I got, man.
Unos tacos.
Oh yeah, it's almost lunchtime around here, so you're making me hungry.
Yeah, but that's the way we divide our days, and I think it's the human being, the way the human brain works is by being feeling like they achieve something,
Sure.
progress, and I think being able to keep our minds busy throughout the day, especially during this time that we have a lot of time, I think it's helped me out quite a bit. So, and just those all different aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, and so just different ways like that to keep the mind still growing.
Sergio, it sounds like you have a good balance, and I know for all of us, balance right now in our lives is well, always it's important, but maybe now more than ever. Last time we spoke, we talked about the end of the XFL season and the hope of a return. Since that time, the XFL has basically shut down and filed for bankruptcy. Wow, a 1-2 punch for many of you players. What did you think when you first heard the news that the league was shutting down and that was filing for bankruptcy? I'm sure you must have been taken back.
Yeah, I did for sure. We were taken by surprise because from the very last meeting that we had as a team, it seemed like everything was on set to be back for 2021. And we were just taken by surprise. I think it was April 10th, which was a Friday when they announced it. The day before, you can kind of sense there was something happening because they were returning the season ticket holders their money for 2021. So you kind of sense something was happening. So it's just an unfortunate event because I think the league was, they were doing something right. They were putting a good product on the field. And, even back here home in Amarillo, I get to talk to different friends, and they're like, man, the XFL was really fun. They were looking forward to every weekend.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate to hear the news of that. The league had to shut down.
And have you processed that? Meaning, and for many of us that were involved with the league, for full disclosure, I was a commentator for the XFL Houston Roughnecks. That's how you and I got to know each other. It seems like such a great idea and such a man behind it, Vince McMahon, who had said he had multiple years of financing, but nobody could have predicted this COVID-19 and the effect on it. I guess my point is, do you think someone will ever try again?
You hope that's the case, because there's a lot of great players out there that are not able to enter automatically into NFL. Or that don't go and play in Canada, and as you could tell, there was a whole league, an extra 8 teams, and 40 guys per roster that could keep on developing. And in the case, I hope I think I've heard there's people out there who want to continue the XFL. I haven't really read much into it, but I think that there's definitely interest out there, especially after the success that the XFL had in 2020.
And that's bad news for you and has been, but we're going to get to the good news soon. But before we kind of close out the XFL chapter, what are your impressions? What are you left with after your XFL experience? Because apparently it may not ever be back.
It's, just like Coach June Jones and Coach McKnight, our special teams coordinator, would always say, we're part of something special. We're the first to ever to do something special like this. And I think maybe not right now as much, but 5, 10, 15 years down the road, when I look at the footballs, the football of the Roughnecks, or any type of gear that I have, I'll be able to look back with my teammates and hopefully my future family, my kids down the line, like, hey, I was part of this a short journey that was granted for us. So it'll be something special to talk about down the future.
Well, I like the tone and the attitude you've taken, Sergio. And I think in life we all met and meet disappointment, and we have to handle it and deal with it. And your attitude is very healthy. So congratulations. I'm sure for many people will have different emotions about what the XFL was and what it meant to their lives. Now, the good news in all of this is that I just recently saw that you are and will again be playing football back in Canada with
Yes.
the BC Lions. First of all, how did that come about, and congratulations.
Thank you. First of all, just blessed to be able to kick a football, right, and get paid for it. But it's just throughout after the season was over in Canada, the door was open. I have a good relationship with the front office people, and I think being able to finally be in a team, for back-to-back years. I've never been in a team for more than a year.
Right.
I've always been hopping around.
People don't like you, apparently, Sergio.
Yeah, right. And this is something that I've wanted. I wanted some stability. The sense, okay, I know where I'm going to be. I already have a foundation. With good teammates, good people, and with the community. Sure. That's something that I was very, that was a bond that I got to create with the BC Lions. So as soon as the XFL declared for bankruptcy, my agent and BC were in talks. So very fortunate, very blessed, like I said, to have signed this deal and to keep on kicking footballs.
Well, congratulations to you. Tell us a little bit about BC, British Columbia, a beautiful part of the world. You talk about the cold right now in Amarillo. It's a little chillier there, but also it's a beautiful part of the world, and you've lived there in the past.
Yes, Vancouver. We lived in Surrey, which is about 30 minutes from Vancouver. But one thing about BC, man, is the nature.
Yeah.
You can go hiking. You can go to the beaches. You can bike ride along the beach. It's just it's a beautiful scenery, and then you have the city all in one spot, and it's just a real nice environment. But more than anything, it's just the people that in BC. I get to work with, very friendly. And being able to go back to BC, like I said, it just brings joy to my heart, because last year we were able to develop, first of all, in the kicking game, we were able to produce and help the team.
Sure.
And in the community as well. That's one thing I've always dreamed, since I was in middle school, when I knew I wanted to play professional sports, that I wanted to be able to give back.
Sure. And
BC has opened that door for me to give back through the platform of football with kids.
So what is the plan now? Have dates been set for the return? Every league and every sport, from youth to professional, is dealing with when will they come back. Does the Canadian Football League right now have a plan? And in particular, do the BC Lions have a plan about when they would get back on the field?
As of right now, nothing is set. It just depends how this ends up, the virus ends up clearing up. So we're just hoping for it to clear up pretty soon. In the meantime, I've been able to use this time to use it as an off season because I didn't have an off season after the CFL. I went straight to the XFL. So using this time to strengthen in the areas where I had had a little bit of weaknesses. So in the weight room, being able to run a lot more now and not worrying about to perform on Saturday or Sunday. So just using this time to my advantage.
Well, it sounds like a great opportunity, and again, the phoenix rising, right, from what is a bad situation for many people to a really positive situation for you. What images will you take with you from Houston, from the fans, from the XFL? I'm sure you want to talk to them, to speak to them, and many Latino fans, but fans from everywhere that got behind the team, that got behind the league, and in particular, Sergio, got behind you. A lot of us are very proud of you. Not only as Latinos, again, just as people with opportunity. That's what this is all about.
I think being from the state of Texas, you hear the three main cities, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. And I've been in San Antonio quite a bit. Dallas, not so much, and Houston either. But the 2.5, 3 months that I was able to be in Houston, I got to know the people in the city. They quickly gathered around us and supported us. And I think that was something very unique because we didn't have any expectations of what kind of support we were going to receive. Like I think I might have mentioned to you a while back in the first game, we were like, man, if we get 5,000 fans, we'll be lucky. Yeah. And it was funny because after week 1, it just caught on fire. And I remember, walking around the city or, going to several other gyms and working out. And I would never mention I was with the Roughnecks, but I had the Roughnecks shirt. And you would just hear people, hey, that's my team right there. I'm gonna go watch them this weekend. So I think as Houston, I just very grateful to have experienced these 5 weeks that we got to experience with them, and I think it was only going to get bigger. And every team that's there from all the sports, I think, are very lucky to have this fan base.
As you can hear from Sergio Castillo, our ghost. No, not a ghost. Our guest here on Deportes Nation, talking about really in very positive terms the experience that was the XFL, that was the team of the Houston Roughnecks. Sergio, before we let you go, what's next for you? Obviously getting ready, like most of us, getting through this COVID-19, hopefully trying to get back to, I call it, our new normal, but going to BC, going to Vancouver, getting ready for the CFL is next. Anything else you've been working on during these times to reflect?
Honestly, it's just I've never been a big fan of running, and I like waking up early in the mornings and going to run. One, because early in the mornings because not a lot of people are awake.
Sure.
So people won't be asking for your time.
I roll out of bed around 9:30, so yeah, you can have the streets at 5 and 6.
Right, and I just like using that time for myself, and I just to spend time with myself because I feel a lot of us, as soon as the day starts, people, our jobs, circumstances are pulling and asking for your time. Yeah. And I feel if we don't spend time with ourselves, then how are we going to give 100% in every aspect of our life? And I'm just, I have pretty much my schedule is I'll wake up, I'll run, I'll eat, do stuff around the house, take a nap, and then in the afternoon I'll go lift. And I think it's just, right now, I'm enjoying the challenges of these workouts that I'm doing because it's not only physically am I gaining strength, but just mentally, like I said, the human mind, the works, we get excited by progress. And within these 3-4 weeks that I've been working out, I've been noticing just mental gains more than anything. And I think that's essential for everybody. So like if I could leave my 2 cents with people is, get a vision board, write down your goals, your weekly goals, your monthly goals, and they're just small goals. And every day when you wake up, and the first thing you're going to see when you wake up and the last thing you're going to see before you go to bed are going to be those goals. And it's going to remind you of where you're going on bad days. So there's a saying, you are what you eat, you are what you think. If you think you'll do it, you're right. But you think that you won't do it, you're also right. So before you win the battle, wherever it is, at your job, relationships, you got to win the battle up here first. So right now I'm just using this time to take care of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually, and just try to prepare myself for hopefully when the next football season comes.
Well, great advice there from our guest here on Deportes Nation, Sergio Castillo. Sergio, always an honor, always a pleasure to speak with you. So we really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and hope everybody stays safe.